At the end of the day, selling is transferring a feeling. If you don't have the feeling, you can't transfer it. If you don't have a good, positive feeling, dude, you're an actor. You have to sell and run your business from a place of positivity. And however you get there, God bless you. Welcome to the Primeau Show. It is episode 158, and we are here with Chris Taheny, the Senior Vice President of DreamFit. If you didn't go to Vegas, here are the highlights and the insights. Sorry, we're running a little late. My dear friend Chris was having some technical problems, but I think we have it all sorted out thanks to the expertise of our world-class producer, Chris Stone, the man, the myth, the legend. So let's get started. Let's pay the bills real quick. Hey, if you haven't bought my book, Sell a Million, what are you waiting for? 101 tips for furniture and mattress stores to sell another $1 million or more this year. If you assume this is a book on selling and only selling, you assume wrong. It's really a marketing book. If you get my book and you have any problems implementing anything, call me at 419-560-3169. And by the way, this will be probably the last day or a couple days. It's $14.99. It's going up to $19.99. Don't blame me. It's what the big boys up at Amazon wanted to do. So thank you to my friends at the Mattress Industry Network group for supporting our show. If you are in the mattress industry, we want you in the group. It's a group run by retailers for the benefit of the entire industry. You name it, everybody's here. We have RSAs, we have store owners, we have owners of manufacturers, we have vice president of sales like Chris, we have reps like me. So there are lots and lots of people here to network with. If you want to get better at selling mattresses, this is the place for you. The Mattress Industry Network group is here to help you build, market, sell, and succeed in the mattress industry. Thank you, Chris, for catching me when I was flailing around. Chris Taheny, welcome to the show, brother. No. Yes?
Hello?
Yeah, okay, it's working now. I was despairing, my friend. I was despairing after all of this.
Well,
so, Chris,
we had a great week. We had a great week last week. There's no reason to be despairing. I'd also be remiss if I didn't say, Pete, that if your book is still only $19.99, the return on one's investments is absolutely, it's obscene. It's obscene to think that somebody can acquire your knowledge for $19.99, and even one of those ideas coming to fruition. Everybody go get that book. I own it myself, and it should be on everybody's shelf. If you own a mattress furniture store, it's a must-have.
Hey, Tim, thanks for hanging tight with us, man. I know we got started 11 minutes late, but yes, let us roll. So, Chris, let's just go broad strokes here. If somebody didn't go to Vegas, they missed it. We're going to bring Vegas to them. But before we do that, let's just go back. And we all kind of anticipated a good Vegas, maybe a better Vegas than we've had in recent years, but I didn't expect what happened. It was like a flood. It was crazy. I mean, I had everybody except one dealer show up for their appointments. I couldn't make it to two of my appointments. That's never happened in 42 years that I've been a rep. And I probably had 10, 11 extras that just came out of nowhere. And I'm like, my Lord. I know it was crazy for you because every time I came into the showroom with somebody, you were swamped, dude.
It was special. Probably the best market I've ever been a part of, regardless of what my roles have been in the past, and it was very encouraging. Very a question that I live and die by. Whether I happen to be talking even to an end customer on the floor, if I happen to be in that position, or if I'm talking to a customer at market, is you're here today. Relative to market, they could have come in a market before, they could have came in last year, they could come in the following market, they can come in a year from now. But why was it this market that you came to visit us? And they were there for a purpose. We're on a great floor. You represent some fantastic lines that are consolidated on a fantastic floor. And it's very simple for one to find you by accident or just walk in because they happen to have a little bit of time to kill before their next meeting. I saw almost none of that. They were here for a purpose. They knew what they came to see, and they were there to see it. And it could have been because they saw content leading up to it. They might have been referred to a fellow retailer. They may have been brought in by another rep or just a colleague in the business. But rare was the visitor where they just walked in and said, "No, I just happened to be here and I was just walking by and I never heard of you guys, so I just thought I'd check you out and see what you had going on." It was a phenomenal market in terms of not only quantity but also opportunity.
Yeah, it really was. And it was so energizing. You know, one of the things that I mentioned, and I heard a bunch of reps mentioning it, you know, as we go into stores in January, we're hearing a lot of negatives, and we kind of, you know, expected that to continue in Vegas, but it didn't. Everybody was super upbeat. Everybody was energized to be together. I saw some great connections between fellow retailers, which is, you know, to me, the most important thing that can happen at market, when you get somebody else who does the same thing that you do, that understands your pain, your frustrations, and knows exactly what to do. That's huge. And I was able to put together a half a dozen of those connections at market. And that made me happier than the sales I wrote, because I know that's millions and millions of dollars for these retailers that they're going to share ideas with each other. They're going to make themselves better. And the networking that I saw was so energizing to me. Did you notice the same thing, brother?
I did. And I would also say thank God for that, because of how busy we were. It actually came in handy to see that camaraderie develop, because I think at my peak there was a point in time where I was actually presenting our program to 8 indigenous retailers all at the same time. And over the course of that presentation, they started to interact, and they've got a, you know, they basically chew on the same dirt. So why wouldn't they become, emotionally connected with each other? And on a couple of occasions, you had a couple of retailers that had never met themselves before ever in their life. And then all of a sudden, at the conclusion of our presentation, they wanted to take a look at another category. And it's great that we all have the relationships that we do, where we can unabashedly say, you know something, bed tech right down the hall, that's who you want to see on your next visit. Trust me on this, you're going to love what you see. This is who you should ask for. And then retailers that never met each other before are going down there together. They'll actually say, hey, you know what? Yeah, that sounds good. Hey, you want to go down there with me? And then they walk down there together. It's if we can keep that going, that'll definitely help during the busy times that we have, because we needed it, and that camaraderie really helped even me stay organized. How about you?
Yeah, it was amazing. It was energizing. I never ran that hard in my life. Usually I get to most spaces at 8 every day. I was in the building by 7. Wasn't leaving till 6 or after, and I was like a kid in a candy store, Chris. I mean, I'm 63.
Yeah.
I felt like a 20-year-old again. I just absolutely loved it. It was probably the best market I can remember, because it was so unexpected. So listen, we're not trying to rub salt in the wounds, guys and gals that couldn't be there. We are gonna bring market to you right now. Should we set the stage by talking about what's kind of happened in the overall retail landscape in the last few years? Should we do that, or you want to get right into it?
Sure. So obviously, for those that know me, and hello everybody that's tuning in. Hopefully you're doing well. Hopefully y'all got back safe after market if you were there. Relative to myself, we are. I'm starting to see the beginning of a change of mindset when it comes to our categories, and it's really a big opportunity for industry in general because of the changing landscape in brick and mortar retail. But sometimes changes within brick and mortar retail doesn't necessarily mean that the consumer habits or the consumer psychologies and the way that they want to shop doesn't mean that that's changing at all. So one of the things that at DreamFit we focused on last year, and we completely retooled our market. That was another reason why I'm excited as heck about how market went. We had different plans in our presentation this market, but we had to completely and totally retool. Once you see a Bed Bath & Beyond decide to liquidate, and only a couple of weeks later, Tuesday morning, decides to liquidate, followed by a couple of regional retailers, we decided to go heavier into product development and innovation. And the reason we did that is because we believe that there's an opportunity for our industry to capture market share that they really should have had this entire time. But like my mama always said, better late than never. And our goal and ambition is we want to be recognized as the entity leading the charge. You don't necessarily need to partner with us. I'm not suggesting that we make the ideal partner for everybody, but in general, our industry collectively it has a really big opportunity to get its act together because we're not seeing signs of consumer habits changing. And we have an opportunity to keep that market, to grab that market share and bring it where it belongs in the mattress specialty retail business.
Chris, can you pull up slide number 7 for Chris? I was just talking to somebody on Saturday, or number 8, the other one. Yes, thank you. Chris, can you walk us through this and there's some profound changes here?
Sure, I'd be glad to. So if we all look back to 2017, that was a very pivotal year in our industry, where you had the proliferation of the bed and box retailers really disrupting how general mattress retail went. So I decided to go back to those times and conduct a little bit of research as far as consumer psychology relative to bedding linens. And as you can see here, pretty interesting stuff. So 4 out of 10 people at that time, even with the prevalence of the internet being upon us then, almost half of the consumers still want to conduct the preliminary research of the category inside a store. And then they wanted to do deeper browsing and perusing of products. Most of them wanted to do that in store as well. And then 7 out of 10 preferred to purchase their bedding products in store. That is a statistic that generally any survey that I've ever seen, even on just some impromptu surveys that I'll put up on Facebook, that usually pans out that at least 80% plus of consumers prefer to touch and feel their bedding linens before they purchase. And then this is key, Pete. You see here 6 out of 10 that are loyal to a brand still prefer to actually return to the store to purchase again. They know everything about the product. They have every reason in the world to be lazy and sit on their couch and then just take out their cell phone and order a product that they know inside and out, but they don't do that. They still prefer to actually go to a brick and mortar store, generally in most cases, to purchase again. So if we consider all these variables, and then we look at what's happened since 2017. That was the previous slide, Chris, if you could show that one.
It's like magic.
This is what's happened since 2017. Yeah, it is, isn't it? So And these are just select examples. I mean, there's, and this is based off of anybody looking for a source. These are all pulled from various Google searches. And this is just these prominent national examples. It doesn't include smaller operations, regional chains. So when that consumer wants to shop in a certain way, the moral of the story is they have a lot less places in which to carry out their shopping preferences. So if this isn't indicative of it being a tremendous opportunity for our industry, as we're going to our general consumer bases and our communities, and we're saying to them, trust us with your sleep needs. We want to be the ones that help change your life for the better. We are the experts in this area. Now is the opportunity to focus on this category. I'm not saying it's ever going to be the focal point of any mattress specialty retail business, but this all comes part and parcel with helping to change one's life for the better. And this is our opportunity. 2024 is the year that mattress specialty retail gets their collective act together on bedding linens.
Yeah, 100%. The door swings, what we heard in January, door swings are down. And if door swings are down, there's only one thing that you can do, and that is to make each ticket bigger. But more importantly than that, making a sale that the customer is so happy with that they give you a 5-star online review, that they refer a new customer to you, that they give you a testimonial. That is the most important piece of Sleep Essentials and what Chris has dubbed solving societal problems. The most important part of that is you've got a customer who's happy now, who's going to refer, who's going to give that 5-star online review, give you that testimonial, and love your store. And that is going to be huge in 2024 if you're getting those things. Chris Stone, there. Here it is. Stu, what did you say? One time I popped the band on a DreamFit sheet and it left a bruise on the mattress. Stu, you're the best. Chris, let's catch up on.
He is.
Ethan Kennedy says, I could not miss these two legends on the same platform. Chris, how do you know you're getting older? Not only do you get a few gray hairs, but people start calling you legend. Jeff Janakovo, who is one of my heroes in this industry, two of my favorite guys in the industry.
Mine too.
And he's flying right now. I don't know how you're doing that, but that's awesome.
He's in the middle. Did you see he's in the middle seat? 2E.
I hope.
God love you, Jeff. Have a good flight, buddy.
And God love who's on either side of you, brother. Stu, I introduced Chris to a new store a few weeks back. Within hours, I received a DM about how awesome Chris is. If you have not met Chris, you need to. And I meant to say the same thing about Pete. He's amazing and awesome too. Stu, thank you for that. And he is amazing. A lot of people don't know this. So
Thank you, Stu.
I just want to reiterate this. You know, Chris came out of our training, our trainers at Protect the Bed. And when I got a call from Chris saying, hey, I'm your new boss. And by the way, I've never been a rep, but told me some of the things that he did about training. And I already knew that he took a division or a region of Mattress Firm's worst performers in the entire country and brought them to number one. And how Chris did that, well, he's here. I'll let him explain it. Chris, go ahead.
So that was that kind of put me on the map. It was a project that I was very proud of, particularly because it happened in my hometown. After seeing two legacy, very well known retailers sell to an even bigger entity, and that generally came out of relationships and trust, and really just recognizing that there was something that needed to happen. They were under a little bit of internal pressure, and I just simply said, if you rely on me, I will get you there, and if I can't, then I'm certainly going to die trying. Quite a few people pulled together. It wasn't long before it was like, okay, maybe 60 days later, once the results were coming in, there was like, okay, that wasn't nearly as hard as we thought it could have been, and we're all working very well together. Let's keep this going. And it wasn't until very, very shortly after that the rest of the organization nationally took notice as to what was going on, and then they wanted to know what the secret was. So a lot of that just, it wasn't necessarily, sure, the actual substance and support is very, very important, but if you're not connecting with people on a very personal level to the extent where they trust you, then it's a very difficult endeavor. So thank you for mentioning that, Pete. I will always be proud of that. And if anybody is watching that had any part of that, it was a pleasure, and we're forever bonded because of that.
Well, and the thing that was interesting, what you did is you went to every store. You had in-depth conversations. Sometimes those conversations took hours. And basically, you took what you already had learned and you combined it with what they taught you, and you created a program that worked. And that's exactly what you did with me. Our first conversation, I don't know if you remember this, it was 3 hours. Could have been more than that, but it was at least 3 hours, because you did something that was extremely smart. You got me to,
I think it's still a record. I think it's still a record.
You got me to empty my gut and tell you everything that was on my mind, good and bad. And you know what? Nobody at Protect the Bed had ever asked me that question. And so it was very cathartic. And I got to tell you something. It's amazing to me that you can get paid for what you do. Chris, would you pull up photo number 3? Because this is what Chris did all market. I couldn't get him to wait on a customer because of this slide. He fell asleep. Chris, you want to talk a little bit about our quilted product?
I'd love to. So yes, so for the record, that this was Wednesday after you all left, and and there were a couple of moments where I absolutely did climb underneath this patented quilted top sheet, and it was a pleasure to bring it back. It was an extremely popular product for us because it was unique, and the way that it's presented is that sometimes a blanket is just too much and a top sheet is just not quite enough. So it kind of strikes that middle area where it's a dynamite solution for regulating microclimate. It's not too heavy where you're going to be pushing off where you get too hot. It's heavy enough to where it provides you a degree of warmth, while at the same time the enhanced bamboo fabric keeps you nice and cool, and the additional weight pressing against your body, it just solves a lot of problems. And it's also a dual surface. So it addresses seasonality. So if you want a little bit additional warmth, you can use the quilt side. If you want some additional cooling, then you would use the finished side. The pillowcase is also mirror the top sheet, and of course the fitted sheet is our patented guaranteed to fit, guaranteed to stay on DreamFit solution, and got a lot of excitement about it. It is a luxury item, but some of the comments that we received when we brought it back was everything from it's about time to thank goodness I can now buy another one, because I couldn't take it to the seamstress again, because there was just nothing further they could do with it. I was about ready to bury it in the backyard and have a proper ceremony, but I don't have to do that anymore, because now I could just simply purchase a new one. And it's available in all 5 of our classic colors, and we're really excited to have it back. We believe it's going to provide for a nice umbrella option. It's priced an even exact $250 at retail, more than its sister product, which is our standard enhanced bamboo sheet set, which happens to be our best seller. It's really, really going to change the game.
Hey, Chris, can you pull up number 4? So I was explaining to one of our dealers what you and the team at DreamFit did that was just brilliant. It ended a lot of frustrations that sales pros on the retail floor were having, and sales reps were having too. So you want to talk about that, how you synced up the colors across the collections?
Absolutely. And sometimes, and this has been well received, and we were hoping so. Because traditionally DreamFit had a variance of colors across, some available in some fabrics, not available in others, with a strategy of, if the customer wants this particular color, which is a popular color, they'd have to purchase a high-end option. And as we communicated with our retailers that this was a maneuver we were considering making, we were hearing that actually sometimes would cost them a sale, and would actually sometimes deflate the excitement of a sales process. And we don't want to have any part of that. We want to contribute. We want to punch above our weight as we possibly can in order to make the sale more exciting. And in doing so, we decided to, with the goal of simplifying our sales process, to uniform our colors across all fabrics and across all sizes. There are other providers in our industry, whether they actively supply mattress specialty retail or not. They might offer a certain color in a certain fabric and in a certain size. But we didn't want to have to hamstring one of our retailers, where they might be trying to upgrade the customer from a queen size to a king size. Maybe they might even be running a sale specifically where you get a king size for the price of a queen. And then you get them all excited about this category, and then all of a sudden they come to find, okay, well, this particular color is not available in
Just lost you, Chris. Chris, we lost you. Call back. Chris, I love you. Call back, Chris. We can't hear you. The phone dropped, brother. All right, guys. Hey, Chris Stone, please go ahead and pull up slide number 1. So
unknown caller.
Oh, he's coming back in right now. Are you there, Chris? Can we hear you? So
can you hear me?
I can hear you now. So I just
okay, great.
I was jumping in here with you and the great one, Jeff Giannakovo. And I got to tell you something, Chris. There's one thing that I have come to really admire about you, and that is you understand the need for retail theater. You understand the need for showmanship at retail, and you understand the need for you to lead the way. And this, I don't know how you dreamed this up. You probably told me and I forgot, but this, I want you to talk about this because it's just a great idea. It separates DreamFit from everybody else.
Sure. So we were talking about aging earlier on, okay, and that was a big motivator for why I decided to put this together. A traditional demonstration that we do because you're right, theater is tremendously important. Putting our fitted sheet on a mattress and then grabbing the fitted sheet and simply lifting up, and regardless of the weight of the mattress stays in. Well, I knew that I wasn't going to be able to physically do that at market, where we've got hundreds of visitors coming in, and we want to leverage this exciting presentation that's been very important to our culture for many years. I knew that probably I wasn't going to be able to do that. And who wants to blow out their shoulder in front of a customer? Not me. So I built this a couple of years ago. What you're looking at now is a fitted sheet that's actually been hanging a 12-inch memory foam hybrid. It's not light by any means. It's got some substance to it. The mattress it is, because you were very instrumental in helping me get it. Thank you again, Pete. Favors continue to pay off every single moment. We even live stream the mattress hanging there. And this particular fitted sheet has been doing the job for now over a year. The only reason why its predecessing fitted sheet was retired is because we had discontinued the color. It was also a lighter color that had been sneezed on a couple of moments. Somebody had spilled coffee on it, so we decided, let's go ahead and change into a dark color. Now that's been hanging that mattress for over a year, and to us, it's a testament to our pride that we take in being American crafters, and that the product is cut and sold and assembled in right here in the good old United States.
Chris, can you pull up Scott Vaughn's comment real quick? So this was Scott's comment, and Scott's one of the best retailers I've ever seen. All Truth Brothers, we got to stick together to win together. We had a dinner, me and Scott and his group, and Jeff and Ray Iyer from Harrison Mattress. We had a dinner where we got everybody together, and the conversations, Chris, over that dinner were just warm my heart. I mean, they're literally helping each other win. They're combining their strengths. They're becoming stronger. And that is huge. And the reason I wanted to bring all this together is because our competitors, the moment within 12 hours, they were scurrying underneath this, looking to see if there was a trick. I am sure that every competitor that DreamFit has, and I put competitor in air quotes because I don't believe there are any. Nobody builds a sheet and protectors the way we build sheets and protectors. Nobody. And we do solve societal problems, and we're going to go a little deeper into that in just a second. But they tried and they tried, and I'm talking about our competitors. They tried to duplicate this. Are you kidding me? They loved it so much. We found some of them underneath looking to see if there's any tricks to it. And they're just like, well done. And to this day, nobody else has duplicated this. You know why? Because they tried it and they couldn't get it to work because their sheets won't hold up. It's that simple. Chris can't say that, but I'm a 1099 rep and I can say that. What would you add to that, Chris?
Yeah. So and again, I mean, we don't purport to be the only solution out there. There are many fantastic servants to our industry, and my advice to any retailer would be, if you didn't want to partner with us, then partner with somebody that recognizes the importance of the opportunity that lies in front of all of us in our industry. The mass merchant brick and mortar retailer is changing fast. There are a lot less places for the consumer to shop this category. And if they're going to, my contention would be, if they're actually going to get off their couch and go into a store to browse, research and browse purchase and then repurchase, we have to show them that we're making an effort, and they have to see different things. They have to see that when they walk into a mattress specialty retail store, there's going to be somebody that's going to be very enthusiastic about the category, because when you walk through the aisle of a big box retailer, there's nobody in that aisle. You're the only one standing in that aisle amongst unzipped, open packages with pillowcases lying all over the floor, trying to hope that the next item that you buy, that you roll the dice on, is going to be the solution that you're looking for. And we get the objections. We hear it all the time. We hear retailers say that the customer says, you know what, I'm good on sheets. I got plenty of sheets at home. Well, maybe it's worth it to ask the customer, well, maybe the reason why you have so many sheets at home is because you've continuously rolled the dice on something that you were hoping that would work, but didn't. That's why we have this here as a mattress specialty retailer. That's why we are displaying accordingly. That's why we are offering a very wide selection. This is why we are, this is why we, as the expert of sleep in our community, is offering this solution, because it's not available anywhere else. There's a lot of power to be found in the term authorized retailer. And, that's what I would add to that. It all comes down to the theater.
So let's talk about two other new products that we showed at market. Let's talk about our 100% organic percale cotton sheets, and let's talk about our enhanced bamboo stretch sheets, both of which were extremely well received and almost like opposite retail audiences. And so what we've done at this market is DreamFit has given you a wider selection of product to close more sales with. So Chris, I'll let you walk us through that.
Absolutely. So what we want to do is we want to offer mattress specialty retail the ability to be that fill that vacuum that some of these big box retailers have had to avoid. And we looked at last year, I think I alluded to this earlier on, we changed gears when we're seeing a significant amount of store closures, and we were looking at in our program, where are our vulnerabilities? What niches are we not touching right now? One of them was having a 100% organic cotton option in our program. And the reason for that is because of the tremendous job that Rachel Gomez, our Vice President of Marketing, had been able to determine, apparently, and this might not necessarily be insight in mind for guys like me and you, Pete, but what's insight in mind for her is that the words organic cotton sheets are strung together in search on Google anywhere from 10,000 to 13,000 times a month. That's big, because we want to provide her, meaning our customer, with what she is looking for. And mattress specialty retail should also want to provide her what she's looking for. It's not always about what's easier for me to carry in my store, or what's the easiest supplier to buy from, or whatever the lowest wholesale prices are. It's what is she in my community? What is she looking for? And 100% organic cotton is absolutely one of the things that she's looking for. Simultaneously, we didn't have a percale option in our program. So we really, for lack of a better term, killed two birds with one stone with this option alone, and that we brought in a 100% GOT certified organic cotton into our program for any customer that insists on having a 100% organic cotton option. But it's also in a percale weave, which is going to give the customer that really crisp hotel resort feel that was lacking in our program previously, because our weaves were generally either a sateen weave or a plain weave. So with that said, we touched both of those niches. Then we had the bamboo stretch knit, which is a new introduction as well. We brought that into our program because we understand that is a growing popular fabric as well, because it naturally de-wrinkles as you put it on a mattress. It's got a very nice feel, almost like a high quality t-shirt, and it also helps us to continue to not only leverage bamboo, which continuously has always been a bestseller for DreamFit, but we actually incorporated our stay dry feature in that fabric, which does a phenomenal, to the naked eye, you could see the performance of it wicking moisture to a very high degree. And I love that feature for no other reason that, Pete, you and I both, and I know that you can empathize with this. We used to be that guy that would walk into the office of one of our retailers and say that this mattress protector wicks moisture or this pillow cover wicks moisture. And we were never able to show them that. We were only able to just talk about it and hope that they would believe us. This feature actually gives us the ability to demonstrate that to the naked eye. And we have incorporated that into our bamboo stretch knit to also to make it a multifaceted beneficial product. And we're very excited about both of those sheet sets entering our program to the extent where we have 9 options. We have 9 individual sheet products to give her, who's shopping for particular niches and features, the ability to select in your stores what she's looking for.
Chris Stone, can you pull up the video that shows the water being moved by the by our sheets? I'm sorry, I forgot the number, which I assigned to it, ironically.
This the one, Pete?
That's the one.
That's it.
Chris, go ahead and walk us through that.
I would love to. So it's kind of above where it's cut off at the top. There's an additional 2 buckets, and we have bridged each bucket with stay-dry fabric. Really just a pillowcase in each of the representative colors in our program. And over the course of time, after we fill up only that top bucket, the fabric actually moves the moisture from one place to the next, to the next, to the next, all the way down to the bottom. And thankfully, I think it was Monday morning, I'm glad that I showed up to the showroom when I did, because it was about ready to overflow.
Yeah, I remember
that. Yeah, it got very, very close. In fact, I spilled some while I was trying to take it to dispose of some of the liquid. But this is, again, it's all about theater. It's one thing to tell a customer that a fabric wicks away moisture, but to actually see a fabric actually doing so is a totally different situation altogether. And we're proud that we have this, we've leaned even heavier into this feature by incorporating into our enhanced bamboo stretch knit, featuring stay dry, as well as all of our mattress protectors and all of our pillow covers.
Do we have any of our retailers showing it that way, Chris?
We do. I have a customer in Puerto Rico that actually sent me pictures after he picked up the product about, I think it was last market. He had even sent me pictures of him installing the shelves on the wall. He wanted to know all the way down to specific item numbers and where I got them from, so he could order them. And he is incorporating that display in. Not sure if it's all of his 22 stores, but at least a few of them, or at least where it's practical to do so.
Yep. Hey, Chris Stone, please pull up the next video. Either one is fine. Oh, wow. That's a great shot right there.
Yep, this is a slow motion video. I fill the vase on the right. I fill all the way up to the top, and then I just bridge the fabric over into the empty one, and then just let it do its thing. And what I like to do is, when I do have a visitor at market, when I'm able to and I'm positioned to, I'll pour the liquid back in and fill up the bucket on the right all the way up, and then I will point this out when my guest leaves. So they could kind of, so they could quantify how long they were in the showroom for and how much liquid that fabric was able to move in the time that they were there. It's a very impactful demonstration, and it's very, very simple to do. This is something that we want to partner with our retailers on. We definitely want to increase wow factors and really have their customers understanding that they're purchasing a proven solution. that's going to help them sleep better, that's going to help them sleep drier, more comfortably, as opposed to simply just telling the retailer, we have sheets. There's a very, very big difference in how that can be done.
100%. Chris Stone, there's one more video. Can you please pull it up? Can you pause it? So can you talk about the importance of those QR codes?
Absolutely. We shocked some retailers when we started to do it because it's, DreamFit has always been a very traditional supplier. But we've come a long way, particularly in the last 18 to 24 months, leveraging digital. You have to give a gigantic shout out to Rachel Gomez, our VP of Marketing, who has put this all together. And there's many benefits to QR codes, and one of them is immediate access to training and development. So in those stores that just happen to be a little bit slower to your liking, this is our way of saying your store managers have an outlet to training and education relative to their DreamFit program, if the DreamFit program is in their merchandising mix, where they can learn everything about that individual product. It's highly visual. There's video demonstrations of the product being used, being installed on mattresses, things of that nature. But it also helps provide the retailer with the opportunity to use our program to retarget their customers. We remember back to some earlier material that we covered, it's not in our best interest to target customers because we know that 3 out of every 4 would prefer to touch and feel. We know that they would prefer to return back to the retailer to purchase again. So there's really no interest in us doing that. But if a retailer wanted to do that for their own sake, if they wanted, when the QR code is scanned, if they want that to land within their web domain, we are absolutely thrilled and delighted to participate in that program. And we hope that we have more retailers on board. We have some retailers that are already reporting back that it's working very, very well, not only from a training and development standpoint, but also from a retargeting standpoint. And this is something that we're proud to do. And we hope to grow this program to be a gigantic success, particularly because the opportunity that mattress specialty retail has in the bedding linens category.
Chris Stone, can you let that continue to play? So you see the quilted, our new quilted ensemble all the way to the left there. And that's how we solve societal problems right there with our no slip bands, corner bands, and our first fit. Whoa, let me see if I can get this. Yep. Our first fit. Do it the right time, the first time, every time. When we started to talk to female consumers, who is our primary customer, one of the things that was frustrating them is figuring out which side is the head and which side is the foot. And especially, it happens in queen, but it really happens a lot in kings, which are almost a square. And I will tell you, this is why Mrs. Jones will keep coming back again and again and again. And if you're not buying DreamFit, you should. If you're buying DreamFit and you're not pointing out those features and, more importantly, the benefits and the outcomes for the customer, you're missing it. Even if you make one sale, you're missing it. And I'll tell you why you're missing it, because you're not going to get the second, third, and fourth sale. And that's more important. Imagine on a slow day, nothing's happening, and somebody comes in and buys Egyptian cotton from you. They want 2 sets because they love it so much. Yeah, just put $500 or more in your pocket. So Chris, I don't mean to steal the show on you, but I see an incredibly huge mini bun behind you. And let's talk about that, because that's part of the experience. That's part of theater. That's part of separating customer, our retailers from another customer, another retailer down the street with something that's striking, with something that's oversized, with something that will stick in Mrs. Jones' head when she goes home and she talks to her husband. She's going to say, you should have seen the size of this bun. If she calls it a bun, she may not call it a bun. What led to this, Chris? Was this there already, or?
It was not. So this was. I have to thank one of our long-term partners, Sit and Sleep. One of the most successful mattress specialty retailers you're ever going to find. They were our inspiration because even though they were selling the product well, there were still, even with that small mini bun, the customer sometimes, when they're being bombarded with sales presentation after sales presentation after sales presentation, when they came in the store looking for just a mattress. And when they would get to the sheets category, the customer may have been enamored with some of the core features, but there was still that, I've never bought a set of sheets that never stayed on, and this is a very thick mattress. I'm just gonna kind of hold off. So this mini bun, well, mega bun is what we call it. Okay, it's actually 16 inches deep. So now it gives our retail sales associates and store managers the ability to actually take it and line it up next to any mattress in their store. So they can assure the customer that any possible concern that they would have in the category is completely eliminated when they use the product. And it's all in our slogan: guaranteed to fit, guaranteed to stay on. We don't care how thick the mattress is. We don't care how innovative the mattress is. We don't care if it's on an adjustable base or if it's flat. It's going on and it's staying on. We wanted to. We want to get to a point where we were even overcoming that subtle objection, which was rare, but it still came up. And apparently it's served a pretty adequate solution because it's been on their floors for many, many, many years.
One of the things that's changed over the years since we first met, Chris, is, some retailers saw the importance of adjustable beds, but others didn't. And it was kind of a mixed bag. And now adjustable beds are more important than ever. And there's a new trend that's even bigger, I think, and that is split heads. Sleep Number has created a market for us. And there are all kinds of beds, American-made hybrids, as well as imported hybrids, as well as all foam beds that are featuring the split head. And the split head puts more pressure because the bottom stays the same. It puts more pressure on those on the corners, and the likelihood of a sheet pulling off at the corner is greatly increased with this new development. And I was so pleased to see that you had an actual display for adjustable beds. And Chris, if you could pull up slide number 5. This is just such a great idea. And Chris, I know you're going to want to talk about this, but I want to say something first. That Quattro pillow, which is 4 pillows in one, is the best adjustable bed pillow in the world. I've seen a lot of pillows from a lot of different manufacturers. That is the absolute best adjustable bed pillow you will ever see. I love this display. And I know that this came out of you listening to retailers and trying to kind of create a focus point for the sales pro on the retail floor, but also for the consumer. Go ahead and talk about this a little bit. It's just huge and it's super important.
Sure. And really the inspiration for this is that as retailers started to see more success with adjustable sleep. I had one of the largest retailers in the country visit us in Vegas, and he had said that their attachment rate on a system-wide basis for the entire year of 2023 was 32%. They had a 32% attachment rate on adjustable basis. But I spent a lot of times on floors, Pete, as you know, and we do some traveling together. When you would listen to the store manager or our sales associate, the presentation in sleep essentials categories, it never changed. So regardless if that customer was coming in to buy an $800 bed or an $8,000 bed, you would still hear that same systematic rhythmic presentation. Oh, we always want to recommend a waterproof mattress protector because XYZ reasons. How are you doing on sheets? Did you want to add a set of sheets today? And I think that if a customer is willing to commit to a sleep system of that magnitude, where they're willing to invest in themselves to the tune of 8, 10, 12, or if you're Jeff Janakabo and Ben McClure at Gardner's, $20,000, $25,000 for a mattress, that presentation, the customer deserves maybe a little bit more of a tailored presentation for that situation. And that's exactly why we came up with this solution. Is if to walk your customer over and say, because you've chosen to invest in your sleep, because of the sleep system that you have chosen, this is everything that you're going to need for it. Everything is here. Your sheets, your mattress protectors, your pillows, it's all here. We just need to figure out a couple of additional particulars, like what your favorite colors are, what degree of cooling you want to come out of your mattress protector, and whether you want your adjustable pillow to come in a queen or a king size. That's it. Something that I can present from a comprehensive standpoint within 90 seconds or less and provide the customer with guaranteed solutions from the very beginning, as opposed to nomadically going from subject to subject to subject. I've sold the bed. I've got them to commit to an adjustable foundation, and then I'm selling this category. And then I have to sell this category. And I have to sell this category. And then I have to sell this category. It's all part of our simplicity. We want to offer our retailers a very, very seamless sales process and help give that customer an experience that's aligned with the investment that they've chose to make in themselves.
I just want to, before we say goodbye, don't sleep on this QR code. Do not sleep on that. This is great for your consumer when you're super busy. This is great for your sales pros when they have downtime to go to a video and to learn all about their products. And what I love about our new swatches that Chris designed, they're huge, but whether you grab them in a hurry, with maybe 2 or 3 customers, they all on the top and the bottom are coated. They have their names on them. I know that's not working real well. Let me get to my 100% Egyptian cotton. And my best seller, and because of that, my favorite, enhanced bamboo. So whether you grab it at the bottom by mistake or you grab it at the top, these oversized, beautiful swatches, this is all you need to sell every one of our sheet sets. Pick your construction story, your feel, pick whatever is driving you your customer. It could be price point in some cases, and then pick your color, and that's all you need. You don't have to worry about having 5, 6, 7, now up to 8 different swatch sets. There's only one swatch set. It's super easy, doesn't take up any room. And guys, if you are not a DreamFit dealer, you need to become one really quick. Chris, how do people get a hold of you? They watched the show. They want to get DreamFit on their floor. I'm going to tell them right now, if you're in Ohio, you're in Michigan, you're in Kentucky, West Virginia, or Western PA, did I miss something? Call me at 419-560-3169. If you're in any other part of the world, call Chris. Chris, how should they get in touch with you? What's the best way?
I'm a very easy guy to find. I'm very active on all social media. particularly the Mattress Industry Network. And thanks again, guys, for everything that you guys do for our business. It absolutely has had an effect in terms of the camaraderie that we discussed earlier on. So you can find me there. You can find me on LinkedIn. I'm very, very active at LinkedIn. Our universal email address is sales@dreamfit.com. And we're also available through our exclusive wholesale portal that we have set up just for our authorized retailers. And I am always at your service.
Awesome. Chris, thank you so much. I think we did about as good of a job as you can do to bring somebody into the showroom if they didn't get a chance to get there. And my heart always goes out to my dealers that cannot make it to market. I didn't want you to miss out on our new products. I didn't want you to miss out on the experience, the tools that are available to you. And I just want to say one thing. When I first met Rachel Gomez, you know, I kind of just said, oh, just some marketing person, and kind of almost ignored her. I worked with her with customers, and I watched her ask questions, and I watched her educate people, and she's brilliant. She is absolutely a superstar. She is rarefied air. She's available to you. I mean, my smartest retailers asked for her card and said, hey, can we call you? Because she is special. And we are just so happy and blessed to have Rachel as part of the DreamFit team, as we are with you, Chris. And Chris, the only reason I'm with DreamFit is because of our relationship. And I didn't really pay much attention to DreamFit. Always Jeff Janakova was telling me this is a great line, blah, 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 blah. And boy, in the few years that you've been with DreamFit, you've made some great changes, Chris. So thank you so much. And anybody who's watching, till we see you again, sell a million. Thank you.